Hello, Aquarius. Thank you for tuning in to this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using Tarot Illuminati, if I can take the glare off there, by Eric C. Dunn. Supportive Oracle cards, Chakra Wisdom Oracle cards by Tori Hartman, illustrated by Gretchen. There's Gretchen's last name. That way, if you'd like to find those creators, there's the information to find them. Already shuffled, like there's a lot of energy amping through here. What's up with that? I don't think that's bad, but I'm just like, there's, okay. Alright. Like the energy is like, boof, boof. I don't know how else to say it. I don't think it's bad. I really don't. There's just like a weird, what's this? What do we got going on here? Okay. No, I don't think we need that one. Whatever that last one would be. A lot of cards. There's a third level, I guess you would say. There's you. There's the situation, right, that you're dealing with, and there's you. There's the other side, and how you're dealing with the two, right? So there's these two. This is normally what I deal with. So this is what you're dealing with. There's stuff outside of what you're dealing with, directly like causing issues. So it might be outside of your viewpoint to know what's going on, to understand why certain things are happening. I have a feeling for a lot of you that's the point of this reading, to realize, like, for example, like maybe you're having a problem with a sibling or a relative, and you're like, why are they such a pain in my butt? Like, what's their issue? There's something going on, like, for them at work or with somebody else that they're dealing with. They're dealing with that, and then through those problems are bleeding off onto you, but it's not, you're not directly seeing that, is kind of what I'm getting. And I feel like that's where we're going with this, because this extra layer here, there's a lot going on. So when we're going into this situation, you've got Faith, Facade, and Workaholic coming in with this whole situation. So whoever you're dealing with, whatever you're dealing with, you're very active with it. It's not something that you're really happy with. It makes me feel like it's a family member. It's almost like you're helping somebody out. It might be a family member, and it's something that you're doing everything you can to help them. You love them. What you're doing, I wouldn't say you're enjoying it, but you're feeling like it's the right thing to do, and you're like, somebody's got to do it. I do care about them. I do want things to work out for them. So you might act like you're happier to do something, or like, no, it's no sweat. I don't mind. I'll do it. It's fine. But in truth, you're like, oh my God, this is a lot. Like, I have a lot going on. I have a lot on my plate. This is one more thing that I really don't need, but I'm not going to let them know that. You don't want to make them feel bad about it, might be the thing. I realize this won't be family for everybody. So however it applies to you, but the situation is like, I have to be a part of it. I have to act like I'm happy to be a part of it. I believe I should be a part of it, but I'm acting like I'm a lot happier than I actually am, because I'm really busy, but I'm doing what I can. Okay. You're accepting the situation, and you are, like, it's not like a complete, like, oh God, I gotta do this. It's not like that. But there's a lot going on, and you're like, there's a lot on my plate. You do care about the situation. You definitely, honestly care about the situation. So it's just one of those things, like, if that was flying a little bit better, if that was doing a little bit better, you wouldn't have to do all these things. So, I don't know. You do care. I don't know how to say this. Like, if you didn't have to do this, that would make your life better. But the fact that you have to do this, you'll do it, because you care. The energy is a little, like, it's very strong, kind of like, I need to do this. This needs to be taken care of. I feel like part of you might be kind of like conflicted, like it bothers you. You don't really want to do it, but you don't want to acknowledge that. That could be the faith too, kind of like, no, I really need to do this. I don't want to feel this way. I don't want to feel bad about it. I don't want to feel like I don't want to do it. But in truth, like, there's a deeper layer, like, if I didn't have to do this, my life would be easier. It's kind of like maybe there's a little guilt with that. Something like that, maybe. Not for everybody, I know that. Destiny is here in the environment. You are helping. This needs to be done. This is helping. This is a good situation. Things seem to be going a lot better. You're making a very good impact here. I'm also getting like balance and enlightenment coming through with this situation. Something changes in this situation. Something is changing. The balance changes. Enlightenment coming in with balance is telling me whatever you were doing to help the situation, you did what you could, and you did your part. You did what you could. But something seems to be changing here, and I'm getting like the Three of Swords happening in this actual situation is you don't like what's happening here, but it's outside of your control with balance and enlightenment. Because I feel like enlightenment is balancing the situation, kind of like, oh, this went along for so long, but this wasn't gonna be permanent this way. Sooner or later, the other side was gonna fall over, and now it has. You're not happy about that. They're not happy about that. But I'm getting like the situation then changes. When the situation changes, I'm getting the Seven of Swords for you, kind of like you have to step back. Whatever changes, whatever you were doing to help the situation, with this change, it's turned things to where you're not able to anymore. And you have to step out. The Seven of Swords is kind of like you are getting relief from the situation, but the Three of Swords is telling me you're not feeling good about it. But you are getting relief at the same time. It's like the stress is coming down a bit, but at the same point, yeah, you're not really like, you're like, well, I'd rather have kept doing it than this outcome have happened this way. So it's kind of like you are getting some relief from stress, but at the same time, you're like, I don't really like how that happened. That's the next point. That seems like this is kind of rough, but you're kind of like, you're not letting yourself think about it too much. I actually feel like you might be too busy to allow yourself that moment to really sink in and think about what's going on. You got a lot going on. So this next point, it's like you went from helping and doing everything and like doing what you had to do and like, no, I need to do this, it's okay, to things change, you don't like the change, but you're like, there's nothing you can do, you have to step out. You really don't have a choice. And the next point comes in. This seems like it's a very complicated reading to me. You get the Star card popping in. Things come back in. Things are changing. This person needs you again. Somebody needs you again. They've got released, like they're being released from the problem. Something is like, there's a release here, a release of negativity is kind of what I'm feeling, especially with the image on that card. Like they're releasing some type of negativity. They now need help. They need help again. They need your service again. They've tried someone else. Someone else is pushing them to do this. Someone else is pushing them towards you. Someone else is trying to push them towards you. And they want something like, whoever you're helping, somebody outside of them wants them to do something. There's external push here. The Princess of Swords is just telling me it seems like it's not the most aggressive communication, but it's strong enough to make an impact. The Chariot coming in with it is kind of like the conversations they're having, the information they're sending is saying, I hope you're ready, because if you're not, we're going to have to leave you behind. It's one of those things. So they're pushing this information like you need to be ready, so make sure you get your ducks in a row. Get your ducks in a row because this is what we're doing next week. This energy is pushing forward towards you. Like it's going to them, and then they're pushing towards you. The Star card is telling me there's a lot of hope, a lot of optimism with it. But you want to help them, and you're excited for them. You're thinking this could be a good thing. But then you're coming forward with service and despondence. It's like, okay, I was very busy when I was helping before. That pulled back. I got a break. But now I'm going in stronger than I was before. That's the despondence with service. Like, I got to help. I got to get in this. I got to do this. And it's like, oh boy, now what are we going to do? Okay, all right. And it's just kind of like you're pushing things around, moving things around, trying to do the best you can. What they're wanting from you this time around, it's becoming a bit much. It's becoming very difficult. And I feel like you have to kind of push back a little bit. Like, I want to help you. I want to do what I can. But this is kind of depleting my resources. I need something different to happen here. We need to negotiate this a little differently. I just can't do it this way. We got to change how we do this. We got to move things around. This is becoming overbearing for me. You got the Queen of Swords, like you're honestly communicating, like, listen, I want to help you. I'm invested in this, but the way this is working, it's not working exactly. We got to move things around. Like maybe there's something else I can do, or some way we can move times, something. The Four of Cups is in the environment, kind of like this kind of throws a monkey wrench in the situation. It's not a total loss. The Four of Cups is not a total loss, but it's kind of like there's opportunities here that people aren't seeing, and it's trying to understand what do we do with this next. So it's almost like the energy pushed out, got you to be involved, you got to do what you had to do, you're trying to do it, then you're like, oh wait, this isn't working, so you're pushing that energy back. It's kind of like this circle feel. So now you're pushing it back to the other person. They want it to work out the way it is. You're saying, I can't do it this way. We got to change things. So do what you got to do on your side to move things around. I want to help you. I'm invested in helping you, but the way it's going, I can't keep doing it this way. So here's what I can't do. Here's what I can do. Do what you can with that. They've got perfection here. Like they're trying to find a perfect way to balance you and the person on the other side of them and keep everybody happy. So they push it over back out to this exponential force. Like you went to them, now they're going outside of them, whoever's pushing on them. This is complicated. I really think this is complicated. That's the Emperor energy. Okay, let's see what we need to do. They use the energy here in a way of like they accept it right off the bat. Like, oh, okay, we can't do all that. What do we need to do with this? They're coming at it with an air of success. They look at the situation, they go through it. A new attitude is brought forth with the Fool card. Okay, here's another idea. Can we do this? So they push it back to the person you've been dealing with. Forgiveness comes in here, kind of like there's a way to work this out. We can move things around, we can change things around. Let's see how that works. Forgiveness comes in here. The forgiveness is on the other person that you're dealing with. Kind of like the forgiveness is in the sense of like everybody can be happy, and they didn't think everybody could be happy, and they're like, oh, there's a happy ending for this. I didn't think there would be. I'm very happy with that. They bring forth these new possibilities to you, the Seven of Cups. A lot of things coming towards you at once, a lot of different ways to do this. They're putting it out in front of you. What works best for you? I need your help. What can you do? Here are the things I can do. Here are the ways we can change it. You're like, all right. You're like, yeah, okay, I'm seeing the possibilities here. I'm seeing different ways of handling things. This will work, that'll work. Move this over here. The Ten of Pentacles, ironically, it does have a little bit of a Ten of Wands feel for me, which the Ten of Wands is not out, but it does slightly feel like that to me. You're putting it together and you're realizing what you're choosing next is going to stick for a while, and it's going to put in a bit of effort, but it's something you can do. It's something that's conducive with the way you're going forward. I'm getting that this keeps going forward. And what I'm getting is that you're trying to solidify some type of pattern so that this isn't a problem again. But then again, I feel like there's then a new negotiation right after that. You got the Two of Pentacles coming in the environment with confusion. They gave you all these possibilities, and you're choosing what would work best for you. But then when you're trying to come back to them with these choices, they're like, yeah, but I would prefer we did it this way. They're like kind of... They're trying to negotiate it out with you. I prefer we did it this way. Can we do it that way? Is that possible? Can we do this instead? And I feel like the confusion on your side is like, why did you give me all these options if you wanted that? Like, if you gave me 10 options and you wanted one of these first 3, why didn't you just tell me, can we work out one of these first 3? And then I would have seen if I could make that work. You gave me all these 10 options. I found the best that worked for my life so that I could help you. And now that I've chosen... Now you're giving me pushback? Like, why did you do it that way to me? Like, you're making me do extra work here that I didn't really need to do. So the confusion on your side is like, why didn't you just tell me that you wanted this to start with? Why did you just give me all this and then afterwards? It's kind of like a little bit kind of like weird to you. I feel like this is one of those situations where they had all these possibilities, they just kind of dumped them on you, and then afterwards they thought about it after they gave them to you, and then they're like, actually, this is what I'd like. I feel like that's why that happened, in case that makes sense or makes a difference. They have perseverance with guilt. They're realizing after the fact, like, they're making this a little bit more difficult on you. there seems to be a weird. They're going to persevere through this. I feel like when they're realizing that they kind of threw things around a little bit, they're like, oh boy, what did I do? There's a little bit of confusion, a little bit of discord here. It's not anything major. I do feel like when push comes to shove and you realize what this other person wants, I feel like you just got to sit down with them. What do you want? Why do you want it? What can I do? How hard is it for me? How easy is it for you? Like, if it's more difficult for me, how much of a payoff are you getting? Like, if it's just like cosmetically convenient for you and it's making my life difficult, we're not going to do that. But if it's making a significant difference in your life and making your life better significantly, and it's a little bit more stress for me, or maybe even a lot, if it's worth it for you, maybe I'll do that. Because you got to really decide. When you just got to get the information together, decide what's right, and just put the plan in motion. That's what's going to make this move forward. I feel like you're going to talk to this person, sit down with them. What do you need? Why? What do I need? Why? And you're just going to be like, all right, here's what I got. I understand what you want. This is what I can do. This is what we're going to do. Just put the plan in motion. Basically, just put the plan in motion. Once you have all the information, I feel like it's just putting the plan in motion. That's what I keep feeling. Like, just put it in motion. Like, all right, schedule that next week for this. Do this and that. And just move forward with it. They might not be totally happy with what you choose. It'll be fine in the long run. You gotta balance it. And I feel like you will. You got the Hermit card and the Ace of Wands is telling me you're going to decide. You need to decide in your head what's best for you and this person. You do legitimately care, so you're going to do what you can for them, but you also got to take care of yourself at the same time. So you're going to make your best judgment. Just implement it, make it move forward. Once it takes off, the Three of Wands is telling me, once it moves forward, it'll solidify. Just keep it on point. It'll be fine. The other person will get used to it. Everything will be fine. Don't agonize over it too much. Just kind of like when you come together with them, sort it out. What do they want? Why? What can you do? Why? I feel like a lot of it's going to be like, how much does it benefit them? If it's cosmetically benefiting them, I don't think so. But if it's giving a significant upgrade in living conditions or something like that, okay. Once you've decided, though, just make your decision and move forward. Make your decision, move forward. It'll sort itself out after that. I think we're good. All right. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.